Greetings of peace and prosperity. Welcome to the virtual English 10 class of Sir Franco. Grade 10 learners, today our topic focuses on Quarter 1, Module 1, which is all about using information in my everyday life. How do we use information in our everyday lives? This is your English teacher, Mr. Neil Cervantes Franco. Before we start with our discussion, this is the most essential learning competency for Quarter 1, Module 1. Use information from news reports, speeches, informative talks, panel discussions, and others in everyday life. You, as a 21st century learner, live in an era where information can be accessed easily from books, newspapers, radio, and television. It can also be said that your student life is quite comfortable because information is within your reach, in just one click due to the advancement of technology. Students like you can get relevant information from different sources of information, such as news reports, speeches, informative talks, and panel discussions. The information you've got from different sources of information can be used in your everyday life. With many sources of information that surround you, your problem now is how to get the most important details which you can apply in your everyday life. That is the reason why this module is specifically made for you, so that you will learn some tips on how to get information from these sources. This module provides various activities and discussions for you to determine how the connected events contribute to the totality of the material viewed, and get information that can be used in everyday life from news reports, speeches, informative talks, panel discussions, and others. Hey, Grade 10! Let's try out! Before you start your learning adventure, please try to answer first a task on your module on page 2. This task will give you an overview of what you will learn as you go along the way to this module. Make sure to finish this task. Good luck! Activity 1. Agree or disagree. Read the statements in the table and check the column that corresponds to your answer. Number 1. It is a must to get important information which can be used in our everyday life. What's your answer? Very good! Agree is the correct answer. Number 2. Taking down notes while reading, viewing, and listening will help us remember important details. What's your answer? Great job! Agree is the correct answer. Number 3. Scanning is reading rapidly in order to find specific facts. What's your answer? Very impressive! Agree is the correct answer. Number 4. Skimming is reading rapidly in order to get a general overview of the material. What's your answer? Good response. Agree is the correct answer. Number 5. Taking down notes by hand is very effective in getting information. What's your answer? Amazing! Agree is the correct answer. Awesome! You are now done with the pre-test. Are you now ready for an exciting learning adventure? Let us now discover our lesson. Looking back, can you still recall the different sources of information you had learned when you were in grade 9? Let's find out how well you remember by answering the task on page 3. Activity 2, Who's My Match? Match the meaning found in column A to the words found in column B. Write only the letter of your answer on the space provided. Building your vocabulary. Hello, welcome to the world of vocabulary. Open your module to page 4. Your next task is to read an example of a news report. But before that, let us first define some of the difficult words that you will encounter in the text. Activity 3, Find the clue. Underline the clues to the meaning of the italicized word or words in each sentence and guess their meaning. Write your answer on the space provided. Number 1. The message given by the Pontiff from the Vatican City inspired millions of Roman Catholics all over the world who look up to him as their leader. What's your answer? Well done! Pontiff means Pope, and the clue is Roman Catholic leader. Number 2. Filipinos are known for their resiliency. They can find ways to build their life again after suffering from calamities. What's your answer? Impressive answer! Resiliency means strong character. With a clue, build their life again after suffering from calamities. Number 3. Every artist dreams of creating an extraordinary artwork that can be considered as his masterpiece. What's your answer? Very good. Masterpiece means best piece of work. With the context clue, extraordinary. Number 4. The man cried after he was diagnosed with having a terminal illness. What's your answer? Good response. Diagnose means to recognize a disease. With the context clue, terminal illness. Number 5. Despite having a cerebral palsy that caused him to spend his life in a wheelchair, Angelo becomes an inspiration to every Filipino. What's your answer? Great job! Cerebral palsy means a disease that causes someone to have problem moving and speaking. With the context clue, spend his life in a wheelchair. Now I think you are ready to read and understand the news report. You can also check your dictionary if you encountered some words which are still unfamiliar to you as you read the selection. Study this. Who is the famous person with this ability you admire the most, and why? The news report you are going to read is about an Albayano who suffered from cerebral palsy and spends his entire life in a wheelchair. Let's find out in the news report how he faced his personal challenges and turned them into strengths, thus inspiring millions of people all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Activity 4. Time to read a report. Read the excerpt of a news report published in the Manila Times and answer the questions that follow. Open your module to page 5. Good luck! Activity 5, Comprehension Check. Please answer the questions below to test how much you understood the news report. You can go back to the important details or information you have highlighted while reading the report. Well done! You have read it very well. Which question is difficult for you to answer, and why? If you found it hard to answer at least 4 of the given questions, you have a problem in getting information or details from a news report. Here are some of the discussions which will help you familiarize the different sources of information and some tips on how you can get important details from a news report, speeches, panel discussions, and informative talks. What are news reports? They are found in newspapers, televisions, or radios which aim to inform the readers of what is happening in the world around them. What are panel discussions? It is a live or virtual discussion about a specific topic amongst a selected group of panelists who share differing perspectives in front of a large audience. What are speeches? It refers to the formal address or discourse delivered to an audience. What are informative talks? It tends to educate the audience on a particular topic. It helps the audience understand a subject better and to remember what they learned later. Getting information from these different sources of information is very important for a student like you. For you to be able To identify the most important details from the articles you have read, you must learn to use different reading techniques. The following discussions dealt with 4 reading techniques, which you must be aware of so that you can decide which technique is most suited for the reading task assigned to you by your teacher. As a 21st learner, you must train yourself in using these 4 reading techniques since it will help you get reliable and important information from different sources that you can use in your everyday life. There are 4 different reading techniques according to Carl MacDonald, and we are going to learn when to use them. First technique, skimming. Skimming is sometimes referred to as gist reading. Skimming may help in order to know what the text is all about. Skimming is useful when your goal is to preview the text to get a better idea of what it's all about. It will help prepare you for deeper learning. Second technique, scanning. Scanning involves getting your eyes to quickly scuttle across sentences and is used to get just a simple piece of information. Third technique, intensive reading. You need to have your aims clear in mind when undertaking intensive reading. Remember, this is going to be far more time consuming than scanning or skimming. This type of reading has indeed beneficial to language learners, as it helps understand vocabulary by deducing the meaning of words in context. It moreover helps with retention of information for long periods of time, and the knowledge resulting from intensive reading persists in your long-term memory. The last reading technique, according to Carl MacDonald. Extensive reading. Extensive reading involves reading for pleasure. It also requires a fluid decoding and assimilation of text and content in front of you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, those are the 4 different reading techniques according to Carl MacDonald. Again, these are skimming, scanning, intensive reading, and extensive reading. Well done, English 10 learners! You are now in the middle part of your learning adventure. But before that, please open your module to page 7 and study the tips to remember what you read. And now, you have learned how to get important information from a news report and understood the tips on how to get this information from listening to speech, inspirational message, panel discussions, and informative talks. I think you are now ready for a series of tasks which will surely help you developing your new skill, and that is to get information from different sources which you can use in your daily life. Answer Activity 6 on pages 9 and 10. It's all about my scanning technique. Answer Activity 7 on pages 11 and 12, the gist of panel discussion. And answer Activity 8 on pages 12 to 14, the most important talk. Good luck! Hey, grade 10! You are almost done with your first learning journey, and I think you enjoy your tasks. But let's see what you truly remember. Now, this is the first question. What are the kinds of sources of information? Very good! These are news reports, panel discussions, speeches, and informative talks. Now, what are the 4 reading techniques that you can use to get relevant information from different sources? Very good! We have scanning, skimming, intensive reading, and extensive reading. Well done! Grade 10, you truly remembered what we have discussed. Congratulations! Activity 10. What I learned from their talks. Listen to the talks and discussion that your parents, siblings, cousins, aunts, and uncles have at home about COVID-19 pandemic. Jot down the important details you've heard from them and tell how this information can be of use to you as you live now in the new normal. Present your answer using the graphic organizer presented. Activity 11. Understanding a news feature article. Open your module to page 15. Read and understand the excerpt of a news feature article written by April M. Bravo. You can highlight some important details on the news report, then answer the questions that follow. Now you are done with your first module. And congratulations! I hope you've learned how to get information from different sources such as news report, speeches, panel discussions, and informative talks. But ladies and gentlemen, before that, let's do the final task. This will be your final task for Quarter 1, Module 1. All of you are going to write a 1-paragraph reflection essay about the lessons discussed on Quarter 1, Module 1, which is all about using information in my everyday life. You can have it written or printed. If it's printed, the font size is 12. The font style is Times New Roman. Margin is 1 inch. Do not forget. Write it on a short bond paper, 8.5 times 11 size. English 10 learners, this is all for today. I hope you have learned something from our topic. Again, this is Neil Cervantes Franco saying, stay safe, stay healthy, stay educated.